All right, so here's how to play each of the parts for Breathe Miracles. This is EG1, key of C. Your first part kind of comes in around this shape right up here, this triad, and you're kind of hanging out on the D and G strings with a bunch of delay and palm muting, which sounds something like this. And so without, the delay is just an eighth note. And then like a, whatever kind of stage drive you feel like. And then depending on your pickups, middle seems to sound better for me on mine, but bridge could work too. Without the effects, you're just kind of palm muting and you're just doing this number here. And you can mess with the accents to where when the delay comes in, you can kind of get it where you want. You can kind of mess with what works best there. So that's it for there. That part transitions. You play that kind of through the first verse and the first turn. Then you kind of transition to a different kind of muted part, same kind of vibe and feel and everything. I just stay in the same place for that, and that looks like this with the delay. You could move that down to here if you think it sounds better timbre-wise. But the kind of thickness that's up here seems to be good. Maybe even switching to the bridge. That goes through the first chorus. You can kind of hit this triad one time before the chorus hook starts. Give it a good one of those. So for the chorus, you come up, you're around this C shape right here. And you're basically just picking around that C shape to get the hook, which is... Most of the time you go back to the C, occasionally you'll go down. So same delay, like I said, up a drive level and then add an octave down and you get... And then you can turn your octave off and kind of keep the same deal as far as the other settings, just to get that quick accent at the end of the turn. Sounds pretty good. For the next part, you're still around the same shape. This is verse 3, I guess. You're still around the same shape up here, and you're just picking around it. They seem to indiscriminately turn the octave on and off for this section. You can do that if you want, if you have easy access to do that. If not, you could probably leave your octave on the whole time and it'd be fine. They're just kind of picking around shapes up here. And then they kind of seem to turn it off. I swear he's changing pickups every time too. Like every section's a different pickup. That's like super high maintenance for playing live, so I wouldn't do that. I would just leave the octave on the whole time, and then you kind of go back to this shape again. And then for the very end, it just kind of comes down to... Then you're back in the chorus with the hook. The end of that chorus kind of bends that last thing. Then for the bridge, you're into octaves, just really big octaves. 6/4, whatever it is, 6/4/1, I think. So you're... That's what that is. You can play it dry like that. They seem to not have a whole lot of reverb going on through most of this song, but this section is particularly dry. You could turn your reverb and your delay off like that if you want to. I think I settled on delay but no reverb for that part. So that's kind of that part through there. Do that kind of to taste. And then once you're back to the chorus, you're back to your kind of same high C inversion up here. And they kind of do a couple quick hits here that you can do if you want. Then you're back into your octave hook. There's a couple extra accents at the end through the last turn where they repeat. They kind of throw in one more hook. And then they kind of end with this kind of deal. Again, technically, I don't think there's an octave on there, but you can leave it on, and it's totally fine and less high maintenance. So there's that. That should cover all the parts for EG1, Key of C, Breathe Miracles.